Here we go.
You are now listening to Two Nerds and a Universe.
Welcome back to the pod. I'm Alex.
I'm Brandon.
And this is Two Nerds Universe, where we do in-depth discussion of all things nerdy and give you opinions nobody asked for.
Today, we are about to step into a whole nother galaxy. But before we do that, here's a message from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Leal Insurance Services. Guessing your auto, home, and business coverage is not a strategy. Get reliable coverage, clear guidance, and real support at lealinsurance.com. And now, back to nerdiness.
Gonna roll with it. All right.
Yeah,
Fuck it, we'll do it live! All right.
He's got to put that on there. Please throw that on there as our introduction. Right back to it. Go, dude. I really hope we could do that. Fuck it, let's do it live. Brandon was just, I was making him self-conscious the whole time we were on commercial break, telling him to fix his hair, so he's a little self-conscious about it right now. Well, today when we're recording, it's May the 4th, and everybody knows what that is. So we're going to get into a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff, but before we do that, we're going to get caught up on usually things that we do get caught up on. Brandon has a picture that I sent you about IMAX for 2027. That's pretty cool. So see if you want to get into that, list some of the things that you're excited to watch on IMAX for the 2027 slate.
It definitely seems like there's a lot of great things on there right now. The one that stands out to me the most is Man of Tomorrow. Obviously, it's within the DC universe. I would definitely love to see David Cornsweet.
Is there any slight possibility that DC could have, like it could completely fall apart by the time you get there?
To Man of Tomorrow specifically?
Like DC Studios. Like the actual studio of DC.
By the time of July 9th?
Yeah.
No. 0% chance.
Okay. Well, a lot of people are feeling like DC doesn't know what the hell it's doing, and it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, it's falling apart. Why should I go watch? What the hell is the timeline?
Why should you go watch to see?
Well, you're not going to tell me Superman, but I'm saying in general. I've talked to a lot of people, and they're like, well, what the hell do I watch? What is DC anymore? What isn't DC? Like, it doesn't...
That's a fair statement.
Because you didn't start off perfect the way Marvel did by starting Iron Man and having a game plan and going through with it. Like, now you're retconning prior DC movies. Now this is where you start. Oh, but this isn't canon. Oh, but this is. It's just kind of all over the place. So, I am excited for Superman, but I'm just kind of like, man, is there any sort of possibility that DC could just be like, hey, you know what? We're just going to turn it in. Like
I hear exactly what you're saying. And unfortunately, the age-old saying, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, doesn't really apply to creating a cinematic universe. It's how you start, it's how you continue, and it is how you finish. Mm-hmm. So honestly, it's a fair statement. I don't really know what to say to somebody like that. I say if you're not going to watch it, then you're probably not as big of a nerd as you might, try to be, or try to get people to see you as, because as a nerd, I want to see all of it.
Of course.
I don't care if it's AI made. I mean, I do care in the sense that I don't want that to be canon, but I want to see Superman being awesome. I want to see Green Lantern. I want to see Batman. I want to see all these characters come to life on screen to some capacity. So honestly, I'd be remiss. I'm not missing it.
I think it's Superman is going to trend in a good direction just because that one global box office was $618 million, and that actually passed Man of Steel. So, I mean, the first one kind of did pretty good. You know what I mean? It held its own, especially for an organization that doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
To be fair, Man of Steel did really well as well for that universe.
Yeah,
and
but
it still tanked.
But Superman did better. So. And then especially with, even though it's considered Elseworld, the Batman with Matt Reeves Part 2 is coming out. Matt Reeves is actually a producer on the Clayface. I don't know if you knew that. Mm-hmm. So it looks like as long as you start getting stuff right moving forward, people might turn up for Superman.
Well,
so that's what you're most excited for.
For sure. That's the one I'm most excited for.
Okay.
Is there one that you're really excited for? Because right now,
you already know me.
The stuff that we're getting out there are some cool little movies. It's going to be like Sonic 4. The first three were pretty good. I mean, it's a good family little movie.
Godzilla and Kong Supernova. Like those movies are so mid now.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Like it's more fun, isn't that what you said? That was a good thing. It's more fun than it is like I really am excited to go watch that movie.
I don't really know exactly what direction they'll be taking it. They've already fought Mechagodzilla. They've already fought each other. They've already
King
fought,
Ghidorah. Yeah.
King Ghidorah.
There's so much to do, but I'm kind of over that. Honestly, one thing I didn't play too much as a kid, but I know the nerds are gonna pull up The Legend of Zelda. You don't think that people for Legend of Zelda is gonna pull up? They're all gonna go watch that movie.
Yeah, so I do kind of wonder how they're gonna create that. I know that it's been a very big franchise. Its entire life.
It's still a huge franchise. But obviously, hey, Star Wars, Starfighter, Ryan Gosling.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see something away from the Skywalker saga for sure.
But honestly, if you were to ask me what I'm most excited for 2027 IMAX, it's going to be the Batman Part 2 and Beyond the Spider-Verse. With respect to Secret Wars, Doomsday has to fire on all cylinders and be perfect in order for me to be really excited about Secret Wars and not just feel like, one, it's a cash grab, and two, there's so many plot holes. As long as that's good, I will be excited for Secret Wars. But as of right now, the Batman Part 2 and Beyond the Spider-Verse are what I am very excited to watch in 2027.
It'll be fun.
With that being said, playoffs are still going on right now. The Spurs, today's Monday, so they will be playing the Timberwolves today. I'm not sure if Anthony Edwards is going to play. There's been some talk. Obviously, when y'all see it, y'all would have already known. It might even be Game 2 would have already passed. Perfect prediction time, because by the time this video comes out, they will be traveling to Minnesota to get ready for Game 3. I think Spurs will be, I want to say 2-0. I don't know if that's just me being biased. I want to say 2-0, but if Anthony Edwards does play, which it says he's going to play today, I feel like he might be a late game scratch and he'll play Game 2. It doesn't matter anyway. 2-0 Spurs. I think Minnesota takes one over there, and I think Spurs win 4-1. I think they win Game 5. So that's going on. Boston blew a 3-1 lead. Y'all suck. Just want to get that out there. I can't stand y'all. Y'all suck. Jaylen Brown, you still should be MVP consideration, but trade Tatum. Because, dude, one thing I can't understand is Anthony Edwards did the nastiest hyperextension of his knee in, like, Game 4 of the Nuggets and Timberwolves game, which was probably less than a week ago. And I can show you a video, and even if we can do a little bit of things post-edit, maybe to show y'all while I'm talking about this, the way his knee went, and he is actively trying to play days later. He's pushing the medical staff to let him play.
The inflammation of his knee's got to be legendary.
Yeah, but it's just the dog in him. Like, I want to play. This is the playoffs. Tatum, I don't know, sprains his pinky, and he's like, nah, I'm out. Game 7. It's like you'd have to pull me off the floor unless there was something seriously wrong playing in a Game 7 in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So they blew a 3-1 lead. Y'all suck. Orlando blew a 3-1 lead, but they're the 8th seed. And I don't think that makes you feel any better if you're a Detroit fan, because you were down 3-1 to an 8th seed. Y'all still suck. It's really only Cade Cunningham. Knicks are going to play the 76ers. I hope Embiid tears them up. And then on the other side is Cleveland and Detroit. I don't really care. I think the representative of the East is going to come out of New York and Cleveland. New York and Philly, excuse me. Either one of those two are going to be representing the East. It doesn't matter because both of them would get smacked by OKC or San Antonio. But that's cool.
Is that a fact?
And then on the other side, OKC. And the only reason why I'm saying that OKC is because I don't think Luka is playing round 2. Shout out to the GOAT, LeBron James. He's up there. Shout out to the GOAT for everybody saying that they were not going to beat the Houston Rockets because Austin Reeves was out and Luka Doncic was out. So all of y'all haters, this was for you. 41 years old, put the team on his back, led him points, rebounds, assists. Maybe not rebounds, maybe DeAndre Ayton. But he carried them on his back. Austin Reeves came back Game 5, didn't look good. Came back Game 6, looked okay. Starting to get his legs back from under him. But the GOAT still led that whole thing. 41 years old. And everybody was saying, oh, if the Lakers lose, what does that do to his legacy? And you're like, he's 41. His legacy is cemented.
Yeah,
everything else
solidified.
from here on out is just cherry on top. It does nothing to hurt his legacy at 41 years old.
Well, I mean, even if he does lose his very last game ever.
What do you? Oh, it's ruined his legacy.
I guess he was a terrible basketball player, you know?
Yeah, no, they're stupid. Anyways, GOAT. Hopefully Luka comes back. They could beat OKC. and then play San Antonio, and you'd have LeBron and Wemby. That would be a beautiful thing to watch as an NBA fan. But anyways, championship will come out of the West. It's either going to be OKC or San Antonio, but let's hope it's San Antonio. So
Absolutely.
let's see what it looks like come that time. But next time we're talking, I hope Spurs are up 2-0, 3-0. I hope LA is up 2-1, maybe 2-1 if Luka comes back game 3. So we'll see where it's at. But let's go from there.
In other news in the nerd world, today's Monday, May the
4th.
May the 4th be with you. Today, Star Wars, Darth Maul Shadow Lord, the very last episode of the season just dropped, and I have to say it is awesome. It is probably one of the best Star Wars projects that they've ever really made, and I attribute that 100% to Whitwer, the voice actor for
Darth Maul.
Darth Maul.
I heard it's one of the best like animated TV shows, like a series. Like if you do one single season, I heard that competes with like other animated shows.
100%. So like this whole animated everything sort of started with Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Very first episode, it's
David
Anakin,
Filoni, right?
Obi-Wan.
David Filoni was responsible for Clone Wars.
And then Ahsoka comes in, and you sort of get a gist of sort of like how they're gonna, animation wise and fight wise, how they're gonna continue on with that series. Star Wars: The Clone Wars, the TV series, absolutely phenomenal, and absolutely love it. But if I have to be a little critiquing about it, and it's not really that big a deal because I still love it. I still watch it all the time. But it can be. I've always said it's a little janky in its fight scenes. Obviously, when you're choreographing live action fight scenes, it's relatively smooth. It flows. But with the animated stuff, I don't know why it just always came across as very, very janky. And they've certainly evolved over the years.
Well,
to
even season 1 didn't have a large budget. It was intended for children.
Mm-hmm.
So when people are sitting there like, oh man, you associate Star Wars with adults in a more grown up audience, but this is what they wanted to do to capture children growing up in the 2000s, so then they can become big Star Wars fans. So that was the vision that I'm sure David Filoni had. That's what Star Wars: The Clone Wars is. It is a show meant for children, but adults can love it too. And the budget grew as the series went on, so they were able to do more and more and more and more as the seasons went on. Mm-hmm. So, do you think because you just brought up Darth Maul, from what I heard about animated Darth Maul, because I haven't seen it yet, would you say that it is already better than Bad Batch?
It's a good question. I'm going to have to lean more to a yes in regards to that. I think Bad Batch is very interesting considering that it's following a group of people that I thought was going to be a one-and-done sort of group. They showed up in Star Wars: The Clone Wars. They were in a few episodes here and there, but I thought with Order 66, they'd kind of just be like forgotten about. Another part of the Empire, nothing else. I'm glad they didn't do that, and it doesn't follow, for the most part, the Skywalker saga, which I really liked. To a degree, obviously, it's within the Skywalker saga.
It's in the same timeline.
Yeah, it's in the same timeline, but it's like a sub story of it. It doesn't necessarily involve Darth Vader too terribly much. And for the first time in all of Star Wars history, at least for us fans, we finally get to see a little bit of the beginning of the Empire from a lot of people's POV and perspective and whatnot. So because of that, I really like Bad Batch, and I would certainly be showing my kids in the future for sure. And it has a great spot in my heart. But just with season 1 alone, I think it trumps all of what we saw with Bad Batch for sure. The fight scenes in general are fantastic. The throwaway line in Star Wars Rebels where Darth Maul sits there and says, "I cannot beat Darth Vader alone." It's like, dude, how do you know that? And we're finally getting to see why. I mean, he's facing Darth Vader for the first time in Star Wars: The Shadow Lord, and like Darth Vader, as he should, mollywops him. It was a 3v1, and he's barely sweating.
It shouldn't be close because he is Darth Vader.
He's the GOAT. Yeah. The GOAT. And you know what? If I can sit here and say this real quick, there's not very many compliments I can give Disney for its handling of the Star Wars franchise since they've had it. But one thing that they have yet to mess up on, and one thing that they have in fact done really, really well on is expanded the overall aura of Darth Vader in this series. Before that point, it was just sort of known in lore that he was really, really good. I'm sure before Disney took over, if I were to ask some of my friends when I was a kid, who would win between, I would say like Kit Fisto or Mace Windu and Darth Vader, they would sit there and say, "Oh, Mace Windu for sure. Mace Windu's the GOAT."
It's not even close.
And I don't think he would.
No, it's not even close.
I love Mace Windu. He is my personal favorite Jedi. I love Mace Windu, but he loses against Darth Vader. Darth Vader is the greatest. I mean, this isn't just me saying it. This is George Lucas. This is the Star Wars lore. Darth Vader is the greatest Jedi hunter in Star Wars history. So, I mean, he's better than General Grievous, even though, in my opinion, he's really good. He's better than all of them. Darth Vader is the greatest.
Count Dooku.
Count Dooku never really was a Jedi hunter. He may have killed a handful of them throughout the Clone Wars and a little bit before the Clone Wars, according to certain comics, but not. He never really actively hunted them down.
Count Dooku had it. The only reason he lost at the end is because he was old.
Because he was old. Yeah, 100%. Don't get me wrong. Anakin Skywalker being the chosen one and being a phenomenal fighter had a huge role in it.
But Anakin was just young.
But Anakin was young. He was in his prime.
Yeah.
I believe he was 22, 24 years old, I believe, by the time of Star Wars
Revenge of
the Sith.
Yeah, when he defeated him.
And I think Count Dooku was like in his 70s.
He was already
as a human.
He was already
utilizing the Force to help with his movements and all that stuff. Yeah, for sure. It wasn't easy for either of them, but Count Dooku in his prime versus Anakin Skywalker at his prime right there. Not Knightfall Anakin Skywalker, just Anakin Skywalker right there at that time. I do believe that Count Dooku does beat him.
Yeah, you just see Count Dooku old on the movie, so you just think he's like one of those like old dudes, but you're like, nah, bro. He would when he was young, he had it.
He had it.
Look at who his mentor was.
Yoda.
And who did he mentor?
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon. Yeah, so Qui-Gon is still one of the greatest Jedis. I'm not too familiar with the comics as much as you are, but even going off of the movies, Qui-Gon is like widely considered one of the best, one of the top. Even if it wasn't be for his strength, I mean his IQ and his wisdom. Because obviously everybody knows if Qui-Gon never died, Anakin would have never turned.
Never turned to the dark side.
So,
yeah, for sure. But so that just dropped. We're seeing some really promising stuff in the Star Wars universe with that. They are coming out with a season 2. It's already solidified. So can't wait for that to happen. I'm very interested to see where Devon's future is now that her master is unfortunately passed due to Darth Maul. I'm sure that'll play a role in season 2, season 3, something like that.
For a second, people were kind of getting a little scared that Star Wars might end up being like Marvel, sort of putting out too much content that just didn't really hit with fans or resonate specifically with, of course, Star Wars fans. What do you think is like? What was the transition here? What was the difference? Like, what was the turning point when it comes to Star Wars? Because some people were getting upset that Star Wars just looked like it was going down a path that people weren't really.
You're going down a path
I cannot follow. Yeah, so that's kind of, you know what I mean? And then now is there some sort of switch? Was there like a change in the studio? Was there a change in like directors? Was there like some meeting happen?
I'm not sure I can officially sit here and say that they have turned heel. There's nothing that's officially been done as of this point where, it's finally under better leadership or something like that. From my understanding, Kathleen Kennedy is out, is gone. Nobody trusts anything that she ever touched, But there's still.
What was she responsible for?
She was responsible for the sequels.
Okay.
And she was also she had a hand in the Acolyte. Those 4 alone were some of the worst Star Wars anything ever, but that's sort of what she was known for, and she did it kind of on purpose because, from my understanding, she wanted to she wanted controversy. Controversy sells, you know. So if she can split the fandom down the middle, then people will be talking about it, and people will buy tickets just to rage watch. I think that's the right phrase. People were doing that with the TV show Velma in the past. That's the reason why it only stopped after two seasons.
Well, Disney as a whole was going in a certain direction too. I know that there was the CEO of Disney or somebody pretty high up chose to kind of do what she did, kind of play a little part in I don't want to say involve politics, but just, you know what I mean? Like they tiptoed that line a little bit, and it didn't resonate well with, especially with parents taking their kids to go watch movies.
For sure.
Seems like Star Wars might be the same thing with Kennedy is her last name?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, Kennedy.
Darth Kennedy.
So
you know
now
what's crazy? She was actually kind of cool in the past. George Lucas and her were pretty tight, and that's why he trusted her to take care of his baby.
and then they realize she has no idea what she's doing.
I guess there's a weird drop off right there as well.
I don't think critics should be allowed to rate on Star Wars because they gave Acolyte. What would you give Acolyte? 1 out of 10.
I think it should burn in a pit in hell.
So 0.
0.
Okay, they gave it
0% for Acolyte.
Okay,
There's
critics
literally
gave
nothing
it in
good about
79. So they gave it 7.9 out of 10. What were they watching? Are these critics even understand Star Wars?
There's no way they watch it. They have to they have to just read a synopsis. And like I said in previous episodes, I mean, it's like they have a checklist, and it's like, is there this type of character in it? Is there this type of character in it? Do they follow this trajectory? Great. Here's a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Greatest movie ever made.
Yeah.
And then you got the people that are like, it's the worst. That's not even Star Wars. What are you talking about? Are you even a fan?
Yeah.
No, you should be a fan of what you're watching.
Yeah, that's the question that comes after you watch something that is not good, Acolyte being one of them, and then you sit there and you're like, yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. And it's like, okay, well, you're not a fan. Because if you are a fan, there's no way you think that was it. It's like saying you're a Marvel fan, but you think She-Hulk was good.
I think She-Hulk should lead the Avengers.
No, you don't believe that. You don't believe that.
I think at the very end of Doomsday, it should be
Anyways,
her saying,
before you say
"And
something,
I
no, they're gonna clip
am
it."
She-Hulk.
And She-Hulk will return. Hey, so you start crying.
They're gonna do it.
You're gonna see her and Meg again. I was gonna mention something about Star Wars. Oh, okay. I kind of have this. I kind of have this take. You tell me what you think about it. It does involve the sequels.
Okay.
You tell me what you think about it.
Okay.
Was Force Awakens that bad?
It was the worst.
You think so?
I do. It needs to be fresh.
No.
I'm
Okay.
so insulted as a fan. I get it. If I were to sit here and put this on a comment section, they'd be like, dude, chill out, bro, touch grass. And I get it, all right? I get it. I do have a life outside of Star Wars, right? But when I enter into the galaxy far, far away, I'm incredibly insulted by the fact that we've waited years for the sequels to come out, and they just literally repaint Star Wars 4: A New Hope. And I don't know if they didn't think we were going to notice or
The
what.
Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, I can admit were terrible. Force Awakens, I don't think is. I think you just look at the sequels now and just throw it all into a can of flames, a can of fire, because the last two were that bad. You don't think Force Awakens could still be there, and then you go a different direction in Rise of Skywalker, or Last Jedi, then Rise of Skywalker, and it wouldn't have saved it for you?
No.
What if they never killed Snoke?
Snoke.
Sorry, you know what I meant. Potato.
Still wouldn't matter.
It still wouldn't have mattered? You don't care? You don't think they could have done anything different?
I do. They could have scrapped the entire thing and done an entirely different storyline.
You're so dumb.
Look, I'm not against having. Look, I love the idea of new characters coming in. All right, Cobra Kai, in my opinion, is the only TV show, movie franchise, whatever, in the past 10 years that has done it successfully. They've brought in new characters that you genuinely care about and are badass. And then they balance them well with legacy characters.
I thought you liked Scream 5.
What?
I thought you liked Scream 5, and that's exactly what they did.
They did, yeah. But they also kind of wanted to, because they Scream 5, Scream 6, and then Scream 7.
I'm just going off of like a single project.
They never really finished it, so it's kind of hard.
It's the same thing as like Jurassic World. That was terrible, right? But like Scream 5 I thought it did pretty good as far as bringing in new characters, bringing in legacy characters. I don't know if you'd say the same about Scream 4. Essentially, Scream 4 was kind of similar.
I love Scream 4.
I know, but that's my point. Okay, well then Scream 4 and Scream 5 did pretty good though, bringing in legacy characters and new characters. It could be done.
It's kind of hard to put them on the same level because Scream 4 was meant to go a different direction and it didn't, so they kind of just scrapped it and forgot about it. But we fans didn't forget about it, and then Scream 5 and 6 were promising, and then stuff happened behind the scenes, and now we got Scream 7.
Well, I thought The Force Awakens wasn't that bad. There was definitely enjoyable moments in there.
Rey being a Mary Sue the entire time. I'm perfect at everything that I do.
I agree. Yeah, show some sort of training.
Like, woman
she
power
shouldn't
or
be able to
whatever.
beat Kylo.
I love.
Didn't she beat Kylo?
Ayla Secura, amazing. Ahsoka Tano, amazing. This has nothing to do with like hating to see like woman empowerment on screen. I love those two characters, right? Even take away the Force powers. Padme Amidala, absolutely love her. Leia Organa, probably one of the coolest non-Force users. I mean, I get it. She's Skywalker and all that stuff, but you never really see her use Force powers.
She survived in space.
In the original trilogy, you never really see her having Force powers, and I do consider her one of the coolest non-Force users before she had Force powers, I guess, in the franchise, right? But Rey flops on every level.
I get it.
It frustrates me to no end that it's a carbon copy of A New Hope, and she just happens to be absolutely amazing. They even poke fun at it in The Last Jedi. You lost a battle to a woman who's never even wielded a lightsaber.
Yeah, that's whack. I will say
maybe you didn't write it.
I will say it's very similar with A New Hope. I don't think it's that bad, but I don't think either one of those movies are like very enjoyable for me. Like A New Hope, I don't think is that good. I think Empire Strikes Back is so much better.
Because I guarantee you, Alex, that if in the future AI is going to be able to do pretty much everything, right? AI will be able to remake A New Hope with same actors, same everything, put some fresh coat of paint on it, modern day fresh coat of paint on it.
Oh, but it's just paint.
I believe that, brother. I'm able to look past it. You cannot. I'm saying that in the future, 20 years from now, when AI is able to redo A New Hope, you're going to watch the same movie
is just a slow
with
burn.
the new paint, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, this is the greatest movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
A New Hope is just a slow burn. It's a slow burn. Okay, from the original trilogy, what's the best movie in the original trilogy? There's only one right answer.
Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, and what's the second best one?
Return of the Jedi.
And then what's the third best one?
A New Hope.
Okay, now let's go to the prequels. What's better, New Hope or Phantom Menace for you? Oh, we might be getting onto something, people. Hold on. What's better, Phantom Menace or New Hope? What do you like better? Go ahead and say it. You already know what you're going to say, but for the sake of the argument,
look,
you're trying to be 10 toes down.
No, I'm just
for
trying
New
to be.
Hope.
I'm trying to be fair with it. I can sit here and say a Phantom Menace, but what's the best part? Why would somebody say a Phantom Menace?
Why would you say a Phantom Menace?
If
I'm
somebody
asking
were to sit here and say a Phantom Menace was the greatest Star Wars movie for them, right? They would be saying that because of the last 30 minutes. The first, whatever. They're probably not going to say that. Nothing wrong with that. They're building a universe, so I'm certainly able as a fan to look past it. But because of that,
it's the same thing with Dune. You got to build politics. You got to build everything into it. There's so much to get into it.
Yeah, but Star Wars does it better.
Anyways, we're not getting into that.
I may say A New Hope. I would probably watch A New Hope before I watched.
You're certainly going to say A New Hope before Attack of the Clones. No.
You know what's crazy?
No.
I would watch Attack of the Clones. No, hold on.
What? Attack of the Clones is that, dude. You argue paint all the time. That is paint.
Why
Let's
is that
throw
paint?
CGI in every scene.
They tried something new, all right? I'm not going to be mad at them for trying something new. Technology was growing by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, let me try
around that time.
wasabi and cereal because it's new. No, it doesn't
They
go.
were
It doesn't look
wrong,
good.
all right? I mean, would it have been a lot better if they had done practical sets? For sure. But, I mean, as a fan, you can look past CGI.
You just see one woman on Clone Wars and you love it. One woman carried that movie for you. Don't
You also
lie.
get Jango Fett versus Obi-Wan Kenobi. You also get Count Dooku versus Anakin Skywalker. Or no, actually, I take it back. The Count Dooku versus Anakin Skywalker in Attack of the Clones really wasn't that impressive, but
It's better in Revenge of the Sith. I'd rather watch their fight
for
than Revenge of the Sith.
But the Anakin Skywalker, dang it, Count Dooku versus Yoda, that was something that I did not expect to see. And that was certainly legendary. Yeah. Because that's like 2/3 of the movie that's actually really, really enjoyable. No, there's a lot about that
Okay,
movie that's
so
pretty
Clone Wars
enjoyable.
you'd rather watch over New Hope.
Attack of the Clones.
Sorry. Attack of the Clones you'd rather watch over New Hope. Definitely Revenge of the Sith you'd watch over A New Hope.
I'm just kidding. Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
so you're really trying to push the A New Hope, but it's like 5 or 6 on your list.
Look, just because it is the last of 6 does not mean that it is a terrible, unwatchable movie. I think you're mistaking that right
No,
there.
it's not that
I
it's
would watch
terrible and
any
it's
of these
unwatchable.
movies, any of them on a random Tuesday. I do not care.
I
love
would not
Star
watch
Wars.
A New Hope a random Tuesday. I would watch Empire Strikes Back. I would watch the last 30 minutes of Phantom Menace, and I watch Revenge of the Sith every day. But what trilogy do you think is better, the original or the sequels?
Sequels?
I mean, the prequels. Apologize.
Look, man, I was born when I was born.
It's gonna be the prequels.
Am I gonna sit here and say that watching A New Hope or the 3 and 3, Return of the Jedi sparked me and my brothers play fighting with lightsabers in the backyard? No, it was definitely Revenge of the Sith every single time. So I'm gonna say prequels was certainly a lot better for me than the originals.
Yeah,
Despite the
that's the
CGI
correct
stuff.
answer. That's the correct answer. And of course, any old head will tell you, "What are y'all talking about? It's the originals. It's not even close." But it's like y'all's. How many times has Star Wars the originals been remastered too? So like what we watch is not even what they watched when they were kids.
I guess, yeah. I mean,
It's completely different.
There's a couple of like small,
Not a couple.
tiny things.
No.
Yes, like, for instance,
No, there is not.
putting in Hayden Christensen at the end of Return of the Jedi instead of the original actor, the face of it. Yeah, I mean, it's you're splitting you're splitting hairs right there, bro.
I'm not. There is so much significant changes that they have made to the trilogy over the years, just so it doesn't look as bad as it did.
There's a couple of small words.
I don't think
walking away,
no.
The original,
No.
when Darth Vader is walking away from Cloud City, he says, "Get me my ship," which is arguably really, really cool. Whereas with the other, he kind of has like a word salad, so to speak, in Cloud City for the new ones. It doesn't necessarily matter, bro. Look, moving forward, all right? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
All right. What do you think is the worst Star Wars project that they've done so far?
It's probably gonna be Acolyte.
Hands down?
I watched like the first episode and I gave up. I never went back to watching it. It was so terrible.
I kind of have to agree with you on that.
Did you finish Acolyte?
So I did watch it, but I can't sit, like, as a nerd, you have to watch it, but I can't sit here and love it or even tell many people to watch, or anybody.
Would you rather
really,
watch Acolyte
to
or
watch it.
She-Hulk?
Oh, bro. Bro.
You had to sit there and
Both
watch
are-
one of them all over again.
Both are brain rot. I guess it would have to be Acolyte, but it just really annoys me that
At least Daredevil's in She-Hulk.
it really annoys me that it's like that they're not really fans of Star Wars, the people who made Acolyte.
Yeah.
Because like small things, right? In the past, there was an actual kyber crystal that you would put inside of your lightsaber to get the color, right? That's the reason why Anakin Skywalker had a blue lightsaber on Mustafar, despite the fact that he just slaughtered a whole bunch of innocents and all that stuff and children and all that. But in the comics, they started to retcon that and they started to go a different direction, and you kind of have to bleed your crystal in order to make it a red crystal and all that. So that it's in line with Star Wars Revenge of the Sith as to why Anakin Skywalker still has a blue lightsaber on Mustafar despite doing all these evil deeds is because he hasn't actually taken his crystal and gone through an entire painful process of putting all of his rage and his anger and his pain into his crystal, essentially like corrupting it and making it into a red crystal. But something like Acolyte, they just like they heard, oh, so it's your emotions that change your lightsaber color. Okay, great. Then this is what we'll do. You're gonna fight your master, right? And then you're gonna be really, really mad. And then in the middle of that, we're gonna show your blue lightsaber turn into a red lightsaber. And I'm like, that's not how that works. You have Darth Vader canonically in comics picking up a crystal and like corrupting it, and it's visibly painful for him. It is the worst experience of his life. Maybe second.
I was gonna say probably second to losing Padme.
Yeah. So he's over here doing all that, and she's over here like barely getting a headache, turning her crystal into like no, that's not how that works. That's just like the only redeeming factor for the Acolyte, in my opinion, has got to be seeing Plagueis for the first time, and even then, I'm not entirely. It's cool to see him live action, but it's annoying. It's annoying. We all know as fans that Plagueis is Darth Sidious's master.
Master, yeah.
But
Hey, but at least that gives you some sort of like, some sort of hope that in the future they would go to something away from the Skywalker saga, right? Because then everyone gets tired of you just completely staying in the Skywalker saga timeline. Mm-hmm. You don't go anywhere near Knights of the Old Republic, and everybody would love. Imagine that on IMAX. Imagine a Sith war on IMAX.
Like a Knights of the Old Republic sort of thing, or are you trying to go?
No, that's what I'm saying. Knights of the Old Republic.
That would be awesome. I mean, just being able to see some of the scenes that we've seen already from Knights of the Old Republic trailers. Mm-hmm. Like I've shown your kids. I've shown your son.
Oh
this,
yeah, 100%.
And he absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it as a kid. I remember watching the very first one, immediately going outside with my brothers. And
so like, we're gonna do this. Let's watch what they do, and we'll do it too.
Yeah, exactly. No, you got to do a somersault. All right. But yeah. I would love to see that. You already know that, especially with IMAX, space movies, they're the best
they're
IMAX.
Best on
right?
IMAX, yeah.
The colors just pop so much more. So being able to see something like with all the greens, all the blues, I understand. I'm not sure if it's like canon. Mace Windu is the only purple lightsaber currently in the currently in the order. I don't think so. Certainly, it should be rare. I don't think anything's out there saying that he's the only one.
Well, there's yellow.
But back in the day, Knights of the Old Republic, imagine seeing blue, green, yellow, purple, all that stuff versus the red, crimson red. I mean, that'd be
yeah. But cool. I just like the look of red and blue, where you see an entire army of Jedi blue, an entire Sith army of red. You know what I mean? Capturing that and throw like it where you've got all you can out of the Skywalker saga. Enough. Move on to something else. And we were even talking about this the other day, and I still stand by this. I had asked you too, can you still enjoy Star Wars away from lightsabers? Your response was
yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's false. That's incorrect.
You don't think so?
No.
Why?
I want Star Wars. I want lightsaber. I want something from this world that I can't get in another world. So I can get pew 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 in any other world. I can't get those lightsaber battles.
But you know it's in the Star Wars universe. You know, you can see little like get this. Why do you think it is that something like in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, they kind of like forget about
Force Awakens? Or I mean New Hope?
A New Hope. So 3 and 4.
Oh yeah, okay.
They kind of forget about the Jedi and whatnot.
Yes.
One, there's billions of people in thousands of planets, right? That's a lot of people, and the Jedi really were only a tiny little sect of them.
Yeah.
They were primarily known in sort of a legend aspect, if that makes any sense. They were a group of people, but as for what they can do, it's almost like seeing a superhero. But it's obviously less than seeing like a superhero. It's like seeing today somebody doing like some kung fu stuff and being able to actually heal somebody using like some Eastern medicine. Sort of like, what in the world? I thought that was a myth. That's really cool. That's awesome. So there's that aspect to it. Sorry.
Jedis are using lightsaber. That's what carries Star Wars.
Yes.
Lightsaber duels.
So imagine seeing a TV show where you're able, the Jedi and the Sith is kind of away from that.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
in a
like
season
Andor,
finale
right?
or what?
Andor.
So, yeah. Mhm.
Andor.
Maybe in a series finale
Yeah,
and all that
Mandalorian.
stuff, season finale, you're getting like whispers of somebody doing some really impossible thing, jumping up like
Yeah.
an entire flight of whatever, taking on entire armies by themselves. I mean, that's impossible. Like, that's not possible. But we know as fans that Jedi can do that, Sith can do that.
Yeah.
We're kind of, I hate to say it because I love seeing it, but we're kind of oversaturated a little bit with the amount of lightsaber duels that we're kind of getting.
Well, that's the direction they went. So that's
is fine.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the direction you chose to go, and you hang your hat on lightsaber duel, lightsaber fights. Of course, you can still put out good projects. Mandalorian, Andor. I don't know how you feel about Mandalorian and Grogu.
I like it. I love it. Yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, you could still put out good projects that don't have to do with lightsaber, but lightsabers really carry Star Wars. If you go look at the most purchased like merchandise from Star Wars, it's got to be lightsabers, and it's not even close. You think it's anything? You think anything's close to lightsabers as far as sales?
I mean, it's kind of hard to quantify, man.
It's
because
like Harry. It's like
the
Harry
major-
Potter and wands.
I know, I get it, right? But
Let's go watch all of them shoot each other with guns in Harry Potter. It'd look real silly, wouldn't it?
yes. it
Okay,
would.
that's my point
But
about Star Wars.
It doesn't fit because they're a hidden universe, right? Like hidden. They're hiding from Muggles. That's the whole point, to separate Muggles from wizards and witches. It's not really the same thing. With Star
It
Wars, they're intertwined all the time.
Yeah, it's guns and it's lightsabers. I'm just saying the aesthetic look of a lightsaber duel is something I can't get in any other universe. I love Star Wars because I've watched the original and the prequels. The sequels, Force Awakens, I think that hate is forced, but the other two I can agree.
Well, you know what? Just because we're talking about it, stuff that I see Marvel doing these days really, really well. We could sit here and say that the Marvel Cinematic Universe can only be done with the major superheroes. That being
Money
Captain
tells
America,
you it can. Money tells you that's true.
Hold on, Captain America,
Thor, Iron Man,
Thor,
Hulk.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All of them. Like the only stuff we're really getting from them has got to be just the major motion pictures of their movies. But we're getting Daredevil, we're getting The Punisher,
But those are TV shows.
Exactly, we're getting those TV shows. And they're doing really, really well. And for any nerd out there who loves superhero content, that's going to be perfect.
No,
for you.
absolutely.
A similar thing can happen for Star Wars. They can just follow the similar script.
Shows, which I
know,
agree. Bad Batch, you thoroughly love. Andor, you really like. Darth Maul, I haven't seen it. You really like. Mandalorian. The shows are good. They put out good shows, and it seems like they're more. Star Wars is more likely to put out a good show than Marvel is to put out a good show. So Star Wars is doing good at that. But even when it came to Marvel, you have to have the big hitters because Thunderbolts didn't do that well.
But it was really good, though.
It's not that I'm not arguing that it's not really good. It's just some things sell more than others. When it comes to Star Wars,
I'm not really trying to focus too much on the finance department. I mean, that's what Kathleen Kennedy's got that wrapped up. All right, I mean, they can do all that stuff. For fans like you and me who just want to see good content regardless of price tag, I mean, like stuff like The Punisher and Daredevil and all this stuff. That's what we really want to see, and a similar thing can happen for Star Wars. I would love to be able to see a storyline, a sub storyline set within the universe where you're kind of getting like a legend of, like it's almost legendary, similar to what you're seeing in Daredevil. You get the New York attack. They talk about the attack on New York, that being what we saw in 2012 with the Avengers, all the time. And they even talk, I believe they even talk about the blip at a certain point too. So that's fantastic. A similar thing could be done, like the Death Star just got destroyed. I mean, and how does that affect the galaxy as a whole? There's things that sort of happen that we kind of take for granted in the storyline.
But that's you being a nerd. But that's
happens.
what you being you're not an average Star Wars consumer, right? I wouldn't say I'm a nerd consumer as much as you are with Star Wars, but I am more than the average. You know what I mean? I still push trying to get. My wife's almost there. I'm gonna get her to watch everything. We're almost there. But very much enjoy Star Wars. What I'm just saying is, when it comes to Marvel, it pays it. They get more money by using the big guns, right? Same thing what it does with Star Wars. I think Star Wars sells better when you have lightsabers, when you get things that you can't get anywhere else. I understand that Mandalorian and Grogu might be a good movie, but that's another one of those movies where I feel like that's all just a cash grab when it comes to all the merchandise they can get from Grogu.
The only thing that would change your mind in regards to that has got to be like something happens in
if
that
Mandalorian
movie
and
that's
Grogu
pertinent to the rest of the Star
Well,
Wars
if Mandalorian and Grogu surpass $750 million, and it's like, here's a Star Wars hit. This has nothing to do with lightsabers and Jedis like that. Then I'm gonna be like, you know what? Hey, maybe the population is transitioning from Star Wars being just lightsabers to being an epic adventure.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Look, you gotta get the
Han
average,
Solo didn't do that good, did it?
average viewer to just
Han Solo
watch the
didn't do
show.
that good.
I know Han Solo didn't do that good, but you gotta get the average viewer to want to watch that stuff. And as of right now, they're kind of fighting an uphill battle already with the sequels being as terrible as they are, and getting people to just literally walk away from Star Wars as a whole. They're fighting an uphill battle. The only thing that's sort of kept it afloat so far has got to be like Mandalorian.
It's the TV shows.
It's the TV shows for sure.
Mandalorian,
Absolutely.
Andor, Bad Batch, Rebels, Darth Maul.
That's the only thing that's kept it afloat. And the only people that are watching that is going to be Star Wars fans. There's not going to be very many people.
Well, that's
the average viewer.
So something's got to happen.
Time during a TV show to watch.
So
and now this movie's coming out, and they just expect, for the average viewer, they're just watching the movies, right? They're not really investing time in the TV shows. So the last movie that they really got to watch was a flop.
Yeah, but that's my point. Is that like something's got to happen, because you got to get rear ends back in seats, and unless you could tell me if I'm wrong, but obviously the people that we associate with too are nerds. Mm-hmm. Are people lining up around the block to watch Mandalorian and Grogu?
No,
I don't think so.
I am, but nobody else.
But that's my point. Is that something's got to change, because The Force Awakens, people were lining up around the block to go watch Force Awakens.
Yeah.
So my point is, it's just something's got to happen. You have to do something that changes, because you're going away from lightsabers kind of thing, right? Darth Maul kind of changes it a little bit. So does Kenobi. But even then, you still had your fair share of lightsabers in that, as well as Acolyte, but Acolyte's in the trash. You got to do something at least to show people like, okay, yeah, there's more to Star Wars than just lightsabers. Starfighter, I know we were just talking about that. Do you know too much on Starfighter, or not really at all?
Not very much, other than the Ryan Gosling.
Does the public
rumor.
even know too much about Star Wars, the Starfighter?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that a game? Wasn't it a game before?
Perhaps it was a game. I don't think it's related to Star Wars.
Okay, so I mean, what do you do? Knights of the Old Republic is right there. When are you going to grab that off the shelf? Mm-hmm. Or is that too expensive to put together too? I imagine a budget for a movie of Knights of the Old Republic.
I don't want to hear that coming from Disney. All right, you guys make billions of dollars.
I get it, but you got to be able to make a profit. Of course, for Disney, that's why they're billionaires. So, is there enough content of Knights of the Old Republic that you can make it look good, because you have the technology to do so, and have an everyday consumer go and spend money and buy those tickets? Do you think so?
Yeah. Do they have the capability of doing that? Absolutely. I think just to, I guess, fall in line with what you were saying earlier, even though I'm personally for seeing a Star Wars movie without lightsabers and all that, for sure, if Disney really wanted to get their head out of their butt and actually start producing quality movies, and make a profit at the same time too, because you'll find no more loyal fan base than the Star Wars fan base. Mm-hmm. Is really just to sit here and get out a trailer insinuating a
war of Jedi and Sith like that.
For sure.
Imagine the twins.
You get the average watcher to want to watch that. You get the nerds to go,
insane for that. Yeah.
For that. And
your video game purchases will skyrocket, because people would just go get Knights of the Old Republic again just to play, just leading up to the movie release.
Absolutely. And then so you get average watchers, you'd get fans, and you'd get new watchers, I guarantee you. People are like, what is that? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and then imagine the twins.
That would be cool.
on IMAX. If
The
for people
Eternal
that
Twins.
don't know who the twins, go ahead and let them know who that is.
All right, so there's kind of this. That's way too much lore to really to dive into right now. To be honest, that may take a video in and of itself. We're talking about like a good like 40
you could
minutes.
shorten it real quick.
I'm not sure if I really can. and
They're
give it
badass
justice.
twins.
I'm not sure I could just sit here and say no. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to veto that for sure. That's gonna
It's
require
great
a video
content.
in and of itself. Maybe I'll post something on May the 5th on our stories or something like that, just discussing the Eternal Twins and discussing the Knights of the Old Republic, the whole franchise in general. Because I can't sit here and talk about them without like, wait, why is there a war between these people and these people? Well, let's dive into that as well.
I get it.
So
It's great content though.
It's amazing content, and all that to say, Disney has a wealth of lore to dive into, and they're hyper focusing on the wrong stuff. Part of me is pissed off at them because of that, and part of me is also kind of grateful that they haven't picked it up, because then they destroy it all.
Well, you
they
don't think
already
David-
have it written in lore, everything, and then they're gonna gender swap somebody. They're gonna make this person fall in love with this person for literally no reason, and it's like, why?
Okay, so do you trust David Filoni though moving forward?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So then, if anybody can be in charge of that, you're
Dave
completely
Filoni.
confident in David Filoni.
Dave Filoni for sure.
Dave Filoni, yeah.
Don't let anybody touch it other than Dave
Other
Filoni.
than you.
If you want gold, if you want to be successful,
Let Filoni
let
does it.
Filoni work. All right.
Yeah. What
Back
about John?
up.
What about John Favreau? What about Happy Hogan?
He's a nerd too, so for sure.
He's been a good director for a couple. Didn't he direct Mandalorian?
Yeah. So he's absolutely fantastic. No, I'm not knocking him. I just wanted to elevate Dave.
He
Filoni
gets
a
Star
little bit.
Wars.
John Favreau gets Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I have to sit here and give Dave Filoni his dues.
Yeah.
He is a Star Wars fan for sure.
Yeah.
He's
But-
probably as nerdy about Star Wars as the creator George Lucas
Oh yeah,
is.
he is. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I would tend to agree.
And then if we have a Sam Witwer, the person who voices Darth Maul, if we have sort of a legacy thing going down for him, I mean,
You would love it.
After a while, I mean, like, stay in for as long as you can, Dave Filoni. But eventually, I'm sure you're going to want to retire. So when you're done creating like 19 movies and 14 TV shows for the Star Wars universe that are absolutely amazing and cook, pass the torch off to Sam Witwer, and we have a legacy thing going on. He can do the exact same thing you can do, guaranteed. He'll learn from you in whatever aspect he hasn't already, and we'll have 2 generations of Star Wars, content to absolutely go nuts for.
You certainly have said your gripes with Star Wars and obviously the negative things that come with it, but you've certainly touched a little bit on some of those things that made you enjoy it so much as a kid and still to this day. What's like one Star Wars project that you hold dearly that you just will always be one of the reasons of why you are a Star Wars fan?
You know what? I'm gonna actually omit Star Wars 3 from this.
Oh, wow.
All right? I know. I can easily sit here and say Star Wars 3, and there'd be a good reason for that, because some of my best memories with my brother Jesse and my brother Blake genuinely were being out there in our 3-acre lot, just attacking each other with having whole wars.
Rich.
We lived in the country. What do you expect? All right.
But dude, me and
It's
you
rich in a different
quote
way.
me and you quote 3 all the time.
All the time. So I get it, right? But if I'm going to omit that and sit here and input a Star Wars content that I think solidifies Star Wars for me,
Is it gonna be Clone
it's gonna
Wars?
need something. It's going to need to be something a little bigger than just
Clone
a couple
Wars?
of hours, right? And that would have to be Star Wars: The
Clone Wars
for sure.
The TV show.
Yeah. Everything about it absolutely is fantastic. The villains are great. Savage Opress, definitely love seeing him. Ventress, definitely love seeing her. They add new things to the Star Wars lore that wasn't there previously that I think are really great. I guess there's only one tiny little gripe that I have. It's my own gripe as a fan. George Lucas wanted it this way in order to elevate Darth Vader. There was a Star Wars: The Clone Wars movie where you kind of see the attack on Coruscant.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it wasn't really that great animated wise.
The animated Clone
but
Wars.
it's the only thing that we have right now for the attack on Coruscant, and it is awesome. There's a one tiny little scene where they're flying up into space. Some of the Jedi are in their fighters going into space, and you see them leaving the atmosphere, and you're in their POV, and you start seeing like specks of dust everywhere, and you're like, oh wow, it's really dirty up there, and then it gets closer and closer and closer, and you start to realize that's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of spaceships up there, like just absolutely destroying each other. It's like, oh wow, this is a war. This isn't just like a couple of
there's a battle.
No, this is a battle.
Yeah.
Right. The war itself, I mean, in lore, it went on for like a week, so it's just everywhere, right?
Yeah.
It's on the ground. It's in the sky, and it's in space. It's everywhere. And you get to see General Grievous kind of be absolutely just menacing. You know, he has that aura that rightfully belongs to Darth Vader, and it's just kind of hard to share the limelight in regards to that. So George Lucas made the decision of making General Grievous during the Star Wars: The Clone Wars TV series kind of a mustache twirling like loser. To be honest, he's almost always losing. There's a couple of scenes where he kind of shows his awesome
Well,
side.
he's killed a couple of Jedis already, so.
But they wanted to primarily make sure that everybody knew that Darth Vader is the greatest Jedi hunter of all
it's
time.
not close.
And it's not even close. General Grievous, good as he is, isn't even close to that. He's just a coward and all that.
Yeah.
So that's my only quote-unquote gripe with the Star Wars Clone Wars TV show. It would have been awesome to sort of see him as a menacing figure, but I get why they did what they did. And considering that they came back to the Star Wars: The Clone Wars TV show a couple of years later with the last I forget, season 11, with the last season, and they bring back Ahsoka, and they bring back Darth Maul, and the attack on Mandalore, and the whole, you sort of see through the eyes of somebody else the events of Order 66, and it's like wow, it's beautifully made. I love it.
And we love that walk of Order 66.
In Star Wars
3.
Revenge of the Sith. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Still to this day, I look at that scene and I'm...
How often am I in the gym warming up on the treadmill and doing my Star Wars walk with my hood up and all that?
Oh, dude.
All the time.
It's going to be Star Wars 3 for me. It of course, like, don't get me wrong. Like, the Clone Wars, I do agree, is prior to Darth Maul. And people are even saying how good Darth Maul is. It contends with Star Wars, Clone Wars, the TV show. So that's how you know how good the Clone Wars TV show is. But it's going to be Revenge of the Sith, and it's always going to be Revenge of the Sith. And I don't know how there's some older heads that look at Revenge of the Sith, and they're like, yeah, this is nowhere near the original. So I get from a strict movie standpoint of why Empire Strikes Back would beat Revenge of the Sith.
It's the first for a lot.
For a movie itself, yeah, Empire Strikes Back is really hard to beat. I think even on my top 10 movies of all time, Empire Strikes Back is on there, and Revenge of the Sith is not. That doesn't mean that I would rather watch Empire over Revenge, because I'd rather watch Revenge of the Sith 10 out of 10 over any other Star Wars project. But it means so much to us growing up, seeing them fight like that, knowing they were brothers. And you're just there like, man, I wish Qui-Gon was here, this wouldn't happen. So the entire time you're sitting there and it just hurts. It just hurts. And we still quote that movie to this day, every single bit of it.
Anytime you do something I don't like, I hate you.
Dude, it's too good, dude. It's too good. It's gonna be my favorite. But I do know Empire Strikes Back is probably the best Star Wars
So the
movie.
worst is Acolyte. The best is Revenge of the Sith.
For you, or...
For me, the worst is Acolyte. The best is Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
And mine
TV
would be
series.
Revenge of the Sith. Okay, my favorite would be Revenge of the Sith. Bias aside, the best is gonna be Empire Strikes Back.
Favorite. It's what I mean.
Yeah. Empire Strikes Back is gonna be the best. I don't think that's opinionated.
And we both agree that the best move going forward, what we would love to see in the future in regards to the Star Wars saga, has got to be
Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic.
But I don't think they would do it. It just seems like you haven't that thing that's been there for what, since the early 2000s, mid 2000s. It's been out there for 20 years and you've never touched it. So it's kind of like
I said before, I mean,
why?
Part of me says thank God, the other part of me says why.
Yeah. How many years was it from Revenge of the Sith to The Force Awakens? It was like 13, 14 years, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's been years. That was the time to bring up Knights of the Old Republic.
No, I'm so glad that they did the sequels. It would have been.
You hate the sequels.
I do hate the sequels. It
But
was a
you-
great idea to make the sequels. Like there's
It was a
somebody
great
in a
idea
boardroom
to-
like, hey, I got $1 billion
No,
idea.
It was a great idea to put out a Star Wars feature film, like a feature-length film. It wasn't a good idea to do what they did because it clearly didn't land. I don't think Force Awakens is that bad. I think they would have gone a different direction with the second and the third. It would have landed better. But it's just so bad because that didn't land, so it throws away the whole sequels for you. I like the idea of putting out the film, but it doesn't always have to be the Skywalker saga. They could move on from it and be completely fine. And I think they might even do better if they did Knights of the Old Republic.
So I'm sorry, I'm confused. You, even though you do respect
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, you think the sequels were a bad idea to make in the first place? They should never have made it. They should have ended it with Return of the Jedi and been done?
Yeah, I think you're fine with Return of the Jedi. That was a storybook ending, clear cut, done. Because then you come back to sequels and you start killing off legacy characters, start pissing people off. So it's kind of like, why do that? You can open up a whole new world with Knights of the Old Republic.
You know, I get it. I see where you're coming from. And, you know, I can't sit here and say that you're wrong on that. But the reason why I say that these sequels were a good idea is because, you know, that was a good, like, 10, 15 years in between Return of the Jedi, or Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith and Force Awakens.
I think it was, like,
at that point,
that time.
You have one generation that grew up on the originals. You have another generation that grew up on the prequels. And at that point, some of us had kids at the time, you know, or were building families and whatnot. And it would have been nice to be able to share with a third generation Star Wars again. So you kind of get like a 3. You know, it's a perfect number. Like 3. You got 1 generation, 2 generations, 3 generations of Star Wars fans. It solidifies them. It's a great thing to bond over, if nothing else. That would have been amazing. It would have been amazing to have the prequels for us, the originals for our parents, and for our kids to grow up on good sequel movies.
Well, your idea of good sequel, and I guess a large part of us is his original vision.
Yeah. With Darth Talon.
Yeah.
With Darth Maul coming back.
Yeah.
Right. With people figuring out that Leia Organa is what is it? I almost said the president. Chancellor of of the Republic and all that. That would have been great. That would have been great to see.
Could you have gotten 3 movies out of it?
I think so. I think ask any fan themselves, they could make 3 movies. It baffles me that somebody with the resources of Disney just can't
And put together that.
put together that. You know, they just have to let's remake. What you're saying is great, but let's just stick with something that we know works. And I saw this movie. I think you'd love it. It's called A New Hope. What if we just did that? Copy paste, new names. You know?
But they didn't copy Empire Strikes Back because it did so terrible. So, not sure the direction you feel they should go at this point. But I do feel like Knights of the Old Republic is perfect for you to touch at this point.
Absolutely.
And I feel like the Skywalker saga, you've tried to do everything you could with it. It's already time to move on. That's the same thing I think with like Grogu. I think for merchandise purposes, they're pushing Grogu. And
I like Grogu.
And they love it because it's, Baby Yoda, all the kids, Baby Yoda. People are walking with backpacks of Baby Yoda and socks. And you're just squeezing every bit of money you can get out of Grogu.
Yeah.
And Grogu alone. I feel like you're going to go watch that movie. Of course, you enjoy The Mandalorian. But Grogu is like 75% of that movie is what everybody wants to see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or at least the vast majority of
Just
people.
getting memes out of it. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. He's cute, and I get it. I've never really bought a Grogu anything before. I do think it's relatively shameless what they're doing in regards to Grogu, but I do like him. I do like Grogu. I do like the Mandalorian story.
Yeah.
But I know what you're saying. I see what you're saying with that.
Yeah.
They're gonna squeeze it until they don't get any money. It's like, I guess it sucks.
Yeah.
No, you suck. You know.
Who's your favorite character? I don't even know why I ask. I already know who your favorite character is.
Mace Windu is my favorite character.
Can I ask you a question on that?
What's that?
He's in comics, right? Mace Windu. Yes. Yes, he is. If they picked a different actor for Mace Windu, would you have enjoyed Mace Windu as much as you do? Because
That's a great
couple
question.
episodes ago, you said Samuel L. Jackson is a what actor of all time? Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
You said he was a top 5 actor.
Yeah, he is really good.
Is he a top 5 actor, Brendan?
Yes, he's a top 5 actor.
I was hoping you came back down to earth. Okay, you still think Samuel L. Jackson is a top 5 actor of all time?
I do.
Okay, if they didn't do a top 5 actor of all time in place of Mace Windu, as opposed to Samuel L. Jackson, would you have been so fond of the character as you are today?
I don't know. Who else could play him?
Are you talking about the 2000s? There's a bunch of people in the 2000s that could have played Mace Windu. What are you talking about?
There's no black
I
actors
think Will
in
Smith
the
is too
2000s. There's only Samuel L. Jackson. Dude, if you sit, I was gonna say yes. I would have loved Mace Windu if anybody else played him. It would have been fine. But he just brought up Will Smith, and while I love Will Smith as an actor, wow,
It wouldn't have been Will Smith. He's
not
too
have-
young. He's way too young.
Could you
Way too
imagine?
young to be Mace Windu.
he finds out that Lord Sidious is
Jamie
Palpatine.
Foxx.
He'd be like, wow, just
It would have been like
that's news.
it would have been like Morgan Freeman, Jamie Foxx, Will Smith is on there, but Will Smith is entirely too young. Morris Chestnut.
Jamie Foxx maybe could have done it. He could come across as rather.
Yeah, I think he's young. Morgan Freeman, I think, would have been more of a like person that
Way
maybe
too
could have
old.
done it.
With respect to you, Morgan Freeman, way too old.
He's
to,
always
to
been
play
old,
Mace Windu.
but he's always
We're
going
going as
strong.
far back as his first appearance, which is Phantom Menace, 1999. Like I don't know, man. I mean, like he may have been way too old for that. There's only one person I could possibly think of that could play Mace Windu.
Samuel L. Jackson.
It's Samuel L. Jackson. You might be onto something in regards to whether or not he'd be as cool without it. But I'd like to point this out. If they hadn't made the movies and I was just reading the comics, I feel like the character Mace Windu would still call out to me.
I don't think so.
I'd still be like, wow, that is awesome.
I don't
He
think
is
so.
a one-of-a-kind person.
I don't think so.
Without Samuel, he wouldn't have the purple lightsaber.
Yeah, because he only wanted purple because Samuel asked for purple, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? He's Samuel L. Jackson.
And then we nerds came in and said, here's the lore behind purple lightsaber.
You created
George
lore.
Lucas is over here like, yeah, that works, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
You created lore just because Samuel L. Jackson wanted it. Yeah, but even then, like, if I'm trying to think of characters that I remember growing up, people really liking, dude, the bounty hunter was like up there.
Boba Fett?
Yeah.
Boba Fett?
Yeah. Was
Wow.
up there. There's a lot of people that thoroughly enjoyed Boba Fett.
That's wild. That's
Why
a
the Mandalorian exists.
Yeah.
that's a very fun. Hey, so you're saying he's your favorite?
Well, growing up, yeah, of course.
Wow.
I mean, did it not look cool growing
he
up?
was awesome.
But
He
that's
was-
that's my point. Is
so
that okay? Besides us watching Darth Maul, watching of Anakin, I'm trying to think of season 2. Apologize. Attack of the Clones 2. I'm trying to think if there was anybody in there besides like Anakin. I mean, Obi-Wan's always gonna be there, right? He's always gonna be elite.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, general. It's
No, actually, I was thinking of his friend from the diner.
oh
Hello,
yeah.
Dex. You know?
No, I think of General Grievous. But I mean, I think even in Attack of the Clones, General Grievous was so badass. Even especially with all the lightsabers. Yeah, I think that
George
was
Lucas was literally just sitting here saying, "We need more lightsabers." You know?
And more lightsabers. I'm telling you, that's what carries it. So we'll see the direction it goes. But I think growing up, I'd probably say, yeah, either Boba or Anakin. But I feel like a lot of people would say Anakin. He's just so goated, dude. He's just so goated. Every scene is aura.
I don't blame you for sitting here saying he's your favorite.
It's gotta. Everyone's gonna. I feel like everybody will gravitate towards.
People will say this cliche,
Anakin.
but I do not blame it.
Yeah.
I don't blame it whatsoever. I love Mace Windu because he's incredibly powerful. He is a prodigy in the Jedi Order. He 100% would have been the next Grand Master of the Order after Yoda officially leaves. He's goated for sure. And he's very, very unique with his purple lightsaber. Why would you say that Anakin Skywalker is your favorite?
I mean, dude, imagine being it came out in 03? 04?
Star Wars, yeah, before.
Revenge of the Sith? Yeah, imagine being 6 years old watching Anakin fight Obi-Wan. Yeah, it's not even close, dude. You just see that and you're like, yeah. And then you see the transfer. I don't want to say transformation because it's not. It wasn't a clean transfer. It was terrible. It was painful. But then you see him turn into Darth Vader from the time you're 6 years old, and you're like, yeah, that's him.
That's him.
He's him. So that, yeah, seeing it, I think it's just because I'm a victim of my time.
Okay.
Seeing that.
Who do you think wins in a fight between Mace Windu and Anakin Skywalker?
Dark Anakin.
Dark Anakin, Knightfall Anakin.
Knightfall Anakin.
Beats. And you, what do you thought? Like, go into detail. I mean, like, what do you think? It's just like, oh, he's mollywhopping him?
No, I don't think he's mollywhopping him. I think Mace Windu is older. He's mature. He's pretty much perfected. He's a perfect duelist.
Let's remember Vapod. He's the only person that is able to use Vapod. He's able to use Shatterpoint. He knows exactly
What you're gonna, the combinations that you're gonna do.
Weaknesses in you, but what to really press against you. Vapod, he's able to practically absorb. Not, this is a little Barney style, but he's able to practically absorb your dark side energy and you turn it against you.
Against you.
So
I just
the
think
more powerful, the more dark you are,
he gets powerful.
The more powerful he becomes. The peak of the use of Vapod was against Emperor Palpatine at the time. I can't imagine Knightfall Anakin versus Mace Windu because it's untapped. He continues to grow.
Well, what I think about Mace Windu is just pure, like, you know how we say, like, pure, just straight hands. Like, when it comes to Mace Windu, he is straight duel. Like, you are not going to beat him in just one-on-one, lightsaber to lightsaber. You're probably not going to beat him. So it's really hard. But Knightfall Anakin was on a completely different level. And the only reason he's not as strong as that is because he got hurt, ended up having to beat Darth Vader. And how crazy OP Darth Vader is, Knightfall Anakin was even stronger than that. So, yeah, it's going to be Knightfall Anakin, 100%. It's going to be Knightfall Anakin.
I would like to point out, so I do agree with you. I do think, as much as I love Mace Windu, that Knightfall Anakin would end up beating him. But I would like to point out that Anakin Skywalker is limping away from that fight. Crawling
from
away
Mace Windu.
from that fight. Yes.
Knightfall Anakin?
Knightfall Anakin.
No, he's not.
I think he wins just barely.
No, he's not.
And I think it's going to be, like, due to some, like, Sith, I hesitate to say it, but almost trick. You know, like, he's able
I don't think he's limping away like he's on his deathbed.
He's on his deathbed.
No, because even George Lucas, didn't he even say Knightfall Anakin was the strongest character?
Yes, absolutely he did.
And what, now I'm supposed to believe the second strongest is Mace Windu?
That would not mean mollywhopping every single human.
No, I don't think so. But
at a certain point, there's going to be certain people. I assume Yoda would be one of them.
Yoda,
where
Mace
he's
Windu,
genuinely
Palpatine,
like walking away, like you know, Palpatine would be one of them for sure.
Palpatine, Yoda, Mace Windu is the only ones I would hear out. I know for movie purposes, Obi-Wan,
got his head.
Yeah, no, because in all honesty, he would be smacking Obi-Wan in a fight. Same thing with Ki-Adi-Mundi. Same thing as Count Dooku. I'm just anybody
General
you
Grievous,
wanted. General
Kit
Grievous,
Fisto, Aayla Secura, Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. He's wiping the floor with all of them. So the only three I would hear you out is Mace Windu, Yoda, and Palpatine. So those are the only ones I'd hear you out. Everybody else wouldn't even touch Knightfall Anakin, and it's not even close.
He would be crawling away. He would.
I don't think he'll be crawling away.
He would definitively win, but he would be walking away.
I don't think he'll walk away like he's on his deathbed. But I do think he will get away. I think he'll get away, and I think he'll win. But I don't think it's crawling. I think he'll walk out.
You think he'll walk out?
I think he'll walk out. I think he got a couple cuts, a couple bruises on there, but he'll be all right. He'll be all right. Go to the club later on that night. He'll be good.
What do they say in it's clean, baby. It's clean.
Oh yeah, it's all good. Longest yard.
Yeah, longest.
Did
yard.
I get you, Michael Irvin? But hey, I have an idea as far as Star Wars. A lot of people, I'm not gonna take it like it's my idea because I've heard it and I was like, that's a great idea. So let me retract my last statement. Tell me a what if series for Star Wars wouldn't be amazing?
It would be amazing, like what they did with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And in this case, you do what if? What if Obi-Wan didn't beat Anakin, right? What if Anakin survived? What if
Qui-Gon lived.
What if Qui-Gon lived?
What if Savage Opress and Darth Maul killed Darth Sidious?
Yeah, you see, like just going into all of that.
What if Starkiller was canon?
Yeah.
You know?
See-
I don't want Starkiller to be canon. I'd like to point that out. I'd like to put that out there. I love Sam Witwer. He's absolutely amazing. Starkiller is a great he's a great character. The Force Unleashed video games are really, really fun. Played them all the time when I was a kid. I do not want him to be canon ever.
Yeah, but what if he was canon, and what if he fought Anakin?
Who would win between Starkiller and? Are we saying Knightfall Anakin? Or are we saying?
Let's
say
first
light side. Let's say light side.
Light side Anakin.
I hate this so much because the game just makes him too OP.
Okay, so then it's Starkiller.
Like Starkiller mollywops everybody.
Yeah.
He's literally fought against like a proxy. Took the form of pretty much all of the Jedi that he.
So he's smacking Knightfall Anakin. It hurts you to say yes, doesn't it? Maybe that's why it's not canon.
Yeah, this is so stupid.
Yeah, so that's why it's not canon. Because then he go over there and mollywops Mace Windu, and now you're gonna be upset. That's where you're gonna draw the line.
This is this BS. You know? Takes on Yoda. It's like, oh no. You know?
But Mace Windu does it. And
now there's too much.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just big game. People love it, but it's pretty hard to accept it with everything else because it's not canon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think that's all we have for today. But to all the Star Wars fans that are out there, may the 4th be with you, and stay tuned. This will come out probably around like Thursday. So a lot of this stuff, what am I trying to say? Spoiler as it is, you should already have watched all of Darth Maul at this point. So if you're a real fan, you're caught up with it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
So
Comment,
subscribe. Who do you think would win between Mace Windu and Knightfall Anakin? Who do you think would win between Starkiller and...
Don't even ask that question. Don't even ask that one. We're not gonna ask Starkiller and Anakin because it doesn't matter.
All right. Who do you think would win if what if Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda both went to face Emperor Palpatine? Who do you think would win? Let us know in the comments below. All right.
Thank y'all. And next week, me and Brandon will be in Disney World. So what we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to get film out there in Disney in the park. I'm gonna tell them I want everybody cleared out. Tell everyone to get out of the park, and it'll just be us, and we'll have a clean view of the castle behind us.
Yeah, nobody will be at.
I'm gonna just
Disney
rent it
World
out.
whatsoever.
Yeah, put it on the card.
Yeah.
Put it on my plastic card.
I'll just ask nicely. That'll be great.
So we're gonna do that. We're gonna be at Epic Universe, and we'll be at Busch Gardens. So we'll try to show a bit of stuff that we get over there, point of view, getting on all the rides and Magic Kingdom. I do want to capture that moment of the castle because that's always beautiful. So I'm excited, but we'll get y'all some
I
content.
Make my own Star Wars lightsaber. That'd be super cool.
It'd be purple.
It would be purple.
Yeah, everyone already knows
because
that's
I'm a
why.
balance between light and dark side, bro. Because I am.
That's dumb.
What?
That's dumb.
All right.
That's dumb.
Thank you for joining us.
We'll
I'm gonna
see.
argue with this fool after.
Yeah, because he's an idiot. He's an idiot. We all know this. And to all those fight fans out there who watch David Benavidez, come get some work, Canelo, because he will smack you. Give me 10 rounds. Give me David Benavidez in 10 rounds. Comment, I don't care. I ride for David Benavidez. Canelo, stop dodging. Go catch that work. We'll see y'all next week.
May the force be with you.